Alright, so this video is about not using fuel tubing. If you have fuel tubing, go ahead and use it. I mean, it's less money that you have to spend, but you should consider 440 nylon washers. These are the flat washers, and these you can use to limit the travel of your shocks. Now, be careful whenever you limit the shocks, because that can make your vehicle more bouncy, right? You can take travel away. Now, for no prep, one of the things to keep in mind is the rules of wherever you're racing. Now, if you're just racing with a bunch of mates, then who cares, right? Nobody's probably going to care. You can do whatever you want. You could probably just put links instead of the shocks. But if you go to an actual race event, make sure you're familiar with the rules. And the reason why is, on the standard rules, the suspension has to function the way intended by the manufacturer. So a lot of people will actually use tubing to limit the travel, especially in the rear. But that could potentially be against the rules. Not that a lot of people care, but you should. But fuel tubing. So this has actually, the reason why it has this color is because this was inside some GTR shocks by Traxxas. And those shocks had TLR shock oil, and it just happened to be that color. So they got that color. But silicone-based tubing, in silicone-based oil, you're going to have problems over time. It is going to break down over time, and it's going to wear down, so it's just going to become softer. It can break inside. This didn't last, but I'm talking about a really long time, after about a year, so you do have to service this. But the main challenge is you want them to be exactly the same size or as close as possible. And with fuel tubing, it's a big challenge. Notice the difference here and here from that same tube, not perfectly flat, right? So you're gonna end up cutting and cutting and trying to make it perfect, versus the nylon washers. They are perfect as far as one is concerned. Now, this is a DR10. Here in the front, I actually have 7. And so the reason why I have those 7 on the outside is to prevent the front end from bottoming out and just scraping the entire valance on the car. That's the reason why. So 7 is good. If you do 8, just do 8 on each. That'll keep your car a little higher. That will definitely keep it from scraping. This one still scrapes a little, but not too much. If I just added another one, I would solve that issue. But that's something that you could do. And these fit perfectly on this vehicle. If you had a Traxxas vehicle with the stock shocks, they work great. GTRs, you're going to have to modify them a little, get one that's a little larger, so they'll fit just here, but they won't go all the way in. So that's something to consider on the Traxxas GTR. But if you have a drag slash, they fit on the stock shafts, because the drag slash just has the regular, cheap, common slash shocks on there. So it would fit because of the thinner shafts. Now, you can also use these inside of the body to limit droop, which is a lot better than this, because the issue with this is it's silicone-based tubing in silicone-based oil. It will get brittle after a while. So this is something you can use. Now, there is an advantage to tubing. Tubing is a spring. So if you use them in the rear on the outside, right, as the car sags, this would act as a secondary spring. Just be careful and make your car bounce as well. So it's something that you have to manage. But anyway, point of this video is to consider nylon washers. Now, these happen to be 440 nylon flat washers, and they fit perfectly in a DR10 shock shaft, as well as a Traxxas common shock shaft. So I hope this was useful, or at least entertaining. Please comment below, like, share, subscribe. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching.
Oh, what? Oh, my hair! My rod!